Hello everyone, Father Jared coming to you from my office. As you can see, I got my trusty face mask on, and that's because I was reflecting earlier today about how interesting it is that we're being asked to do things like wearing the face mask to protect not only ourselves, so that way I don't touch my face, pick my nose on camera or anything like that, but then also to protect others. So, that way I'm not spitting all over the place, not spitting all over my camera, so that way you all can see me clearly. And so that's just kind of fascinating to me. So I'm going to take this off because it's kind of uncomfortable. But it's just kind of fascinating to me because we can apply, both ends of that, both and protecting ourselves and protecting others to our own spiritual health, our spiritual well-being. So, when it comes to our spiritual health, sometimes I don't think we always take the best care to protect ourselves from what we're taking in, some of the TV shows that maybe we find ourselves binging on during this quarantine may not be the most helpful for us. They may not be building us up in our spiritual lives. They may not be helping us to live chaste, courageous, truly Christian and truly human lives. That shows that may not always uphold the dignity of the human person in many different ways. So protecting ourselves from taking in all that sort of crud and those things that may be bad for us and may not be the best for us, along with avoiding other temptations to sin. So not avoiding taking in too much food, avoiding gluttony, and so on and so forth. You probably have your own examples that you can call to mind right now. But then also the importance on the other end of protecting others. So the phenomena of shop talk. So working in a factory myself, I know that the shop vocabulary is not always necessarily the most clean. Let's just say that, to say the least. And that's not a good thing, because then we can find ourselves using words that we never used before because all the people around us that we spend a lot of our time with are using them. And so that's where we become responsible to others, that to not allow those kind of words to fly forth from our mouth, to try and prevent ourselves from giving into that temptation to use less than edifying language. Along with examples like, maybe not, where people ask like, well, what are you watching during quarantine? Maybe not to suggest to them that show that has a lot of inappropriate stuff in it, and so on, so forth. Those kind of things can really do a lot to help make, can help ourselves, but then also to make a culture of virtue, instead of upholding things that the culture always does, which is, like selfishness, lust, violence, all those sort of things that can kind of come out in the movie realm and the TV show realm, but instead to build up a culture of virtue, that we live lives that are courageous, based in the truth of Jesus Christ and His church, all these other sort of things that we base our lives in that can really be aids to us in our spiritual lives. And and then it doesn't only aid us, but instead we begin to build up the body of Christ, not just building up disciples, or never just disciples for themselves, but instead disciples for others as well, so that these things that we do will then also spread to others, so that, the good kind of contagious. Hope is contagious. The truth is contagious. Love is contagious. And so that instead we are spreading those things, those virtues, the gospel, ultimately, spreading the good news of Jesus Christ and the love that He has for each and every one of us. That is ultimately what we should be doing, instead of spreading the ill, the evil that sometimes can be put into our lives, that sometimes we can spread to others. But instead, let us only seek to spread, virtue, and to ultimately spread the good news of Jesus Christ.